All right. Well, welcome to the next Three Wells podcast. I'm Jason Turner, co-founder of Three Wells. And for all of you that don't know, and I hope all of you do know, Three Wells, be well, live well, do well. We are a site dedicated to all of you that weren't born yesterday, and I mean age-wise. And for those of you that are, say, 50 plus, dedicated to sifting through the world of cannabis and bringing forward the great things, great people, great products and services so that you don't have to, all with the desire and mission to make you feel well and, of course, be well, live well, do well through cannabis, CBD, and all the things in between. So today, I'm talking with Willy Wonka. And I'm only half kidding. So we are with Mr. Mike Hennesy, who is Vice President of Innovation at Wana Brands. And the reason I say Willy Wonka is he's the guy that gets to do all the cool experimentation and discovery and making all the cool products. And with that, Mike, I know you've been at Wana now for what, 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years.
Wow. Okay. We're going to get into your background in just a second, but I got to bring this up. So at one time previous to Wana in your career, you worked as a sales associate at REI, right?
Yeah. I worked at REI for 5 years.
Okay. So you're like a hardcore outdoorsman too.
Definitely. Eagle Scout, environmental science major, backpacker, mountain biker, you name it.
Wow. Okay. Oh, mountain biker. Oh, then we definitely have to talk and go for a ride after this.
I came to Colorado for a reason. More than one reason, we should say.
So, Mike, why don't you give us a quick background and most of all, what does it mean when you say Vice President of Innovation at Wana?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I'm still figuring that out every day. So I moved out to Colorado 8 years ago, got involved in the cannabis industry and have been here at Wana now for 7 years. Worn a lot of hats here, managed the sales team, but my passion was in science and in cannabis. And we really fused those two things together here at Wana. Nancy saw the vision and really encouraged me to pursue this and saw the value it can bring to Wana, the industry, and our consumers. So we've been just pursuing cannabis science and how we can use that to innovate and develop new products that help people enhance their lives.
So, and you have I'm going to say this word always catches me up. You have a pharmacology background, right?
So I just completed a master's of science in cannabis science and therapeutics. It is taught through the School of Pharmacy at the University of Maryland. Actually, the first master's of its kind in this particular subject area.
Really?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It's really interesting. We learned a lot about drugs, drug metabolism, how they affect our brain, how they're eliminated from our bodies, and how we can utilize the cannabis plant to find different active compounds in there and apply them for specific therapies, specific use cases, how people can use cannabis to its maximum potential.
So not only are you pioneering products and flavors and all kinds of things, but you're also pioneering a whole certification type industry?
Yeah, well, really just trying to make the best products we can and understanding the plant in the best way we can. There's still so much more to learn, right? So it's an ongoing education, ongoing learning, and taking what we learn and take that to consumers in podcasts like this and educational content. Because the more we can educate our consumers, the more we can innovate new products, the better, more impactful we're going to be for consumers, for the industry.
So we've talked about you. We keep mentioning Wana, but not everyone. Well, hopefully everyone does. But let's assume not everyone knows who Wana is and what Wana does. Can you give us a quick synopsis of the company, the people, and the products?
Yeah. So quick download on Wana. We're an OG Colorado cannabis company. We're one of the first.
OG. There may be some initiated that might not know what OG is. So.
Well, it depends on who you ask. Ocean grown, OG. It's the classics. It's the originals. We were one of the Colorado.
Original gangsta.
Original gangsta. It's the original gangsta cannabis, ocean grown cannabis, OG Kush, as I hope you all know.
Yeah.
Classic strain. So we were one of the first to get started here in Colorado, and that meant a lot of learning along the way. But in that time, we found that cannabis gummies, as far as edibles are concerned, are one of the best delivery methods. They hold cannabis well, they taste great. They're already well known to people as a way to take a supplement. People are using gummy vitamins. They're great to be able to cut in half. They're very homogeneous. And the other great thing about a gummy is that you can kind of eat one and be satisfied. If you give me a candy bar, I'm going to keep eating it. But with a gummy, you can kind of just have a gummy or have 2 gummies, a couple of gummies, and be real satisfied. So Wana has become the North America's leading edibles brand, most recognized for our sour gummies. We also produce a line of tinctures as well as tarts, so offering a couple of different product forms. And we've diversified our product line among many different ratios of cannabis, so CBD, THC, as well as different classes, utilizing the cannabis terpenes to create indica, sativa, hybrid varieties of products to allow customers dial in the experience they're looking for from cannabis.
All right, so now we know who Wana is. I want to come back to you for a second because you're a pretty interesting guy. So you're a smart guy, you're an outdoors guy, you got, all kinds of things going on, and you choose the cannabis industry, right? Don't get me wrong, I love the cannabis industry. It's like this wonderful, positive Wild West. But why did you get into it?
Yeah, what am I doing here? When I was younger, I don't think Mom would have been happy. I'll put it that way. We've got her using Wana these days.
Good for Mom.
Yeah. I would trace the story back. Everyone's story is convoluted, and there's different things that lead you in the direction that you end up. But one of the crucial factors in my life was in college. I started using cannabis. Realized, man, Dare really told me a lot of lies. So that got me thinking about cannabis. But even more importantly, I had a roommate in college, and he had epilepsy. And I went to the University of Maryland for my undergrad, and at that time, it was not medical or recreationally legal there. So we were still finding our black market dealers to get cannabis, and well, they're not very reliable. So there was times we would run out of cannabis. And, there was a time where we didn't have any for over a month, and my roommate was using it to prevent seizures. And when he was using cannabis, he would have 0 seizures. But when he didn't have cannabis, they would pop up. It actually led to him having he's fine, but he had a car accident when we didn't have cannabis. He had a seizure while driving. He was okay, ended up in the median. But I realized I saw that if we'd just been able to have readily available cannabis, this was an entirely preventable thing. And so I graduated in 2012 and very intentionally wanted to come to Colorado to get involved in the cannabis industry. I saw how beneficial it could be to people's lives, and I really wanted to take that to more people, expand it, show the world what cannabis can do. And we're learning more and more that it's much more than epilepsy and what it can help people with. So I came out here, got involved as soon as I could.
See, I love that story. And the reason is because it's genuine, and you're in this for a genuine reason. And let's just call it like it is. There's a lot of people, in the industry that are just in it for the money. Oh, it's growing. It's getting popular. I'm going to grab my cash and get out, and I don't care what I do in between then and now. But and I would say I've met a few of your colleagues at Wana, and that's one of the things that impresses me about all of you is that you're in this for a genuine reason. You're not just in it to shove market products into the marketplace. So I didn't know that story, so thanks for sharing. And I already had a good respect for you, and it just jumped up. So thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Jason.
So innovation. You're working at a kind of a food company, cannabis type, consumables company. Where do you get the innovation for some of these products? And we're going to dive into one of your products in just a second. I'm going to put you on the spot. But generally, where do you get your innovation for all these? Because I've tasted a lot of them. They actually taste good. There's some out there that don't. Yours do. And we haven't talked about that. But where do you get it? Where do you get that innovation?
Yeah. We kind of bridge the line between a food company and a drug company, and are trying to merge the two together to create a great experience. So, obviously we want it to taste good, but we want the effects to be great too. So innovation to me is innovating on the experience, innovating on the plant medicine, and really harnessing the power of the plant. What can we do to take the plant and create the best benefits for people? So that inspiration comes from research, going out and getting a master's degree, continuing to follow what leading scientists are doing. A lot of the innovation comes from following research, but it also comes from brainstorming here within the business and hearing from our customers, hearing from our dispensaries, our bud tenders. What are they hearing? What can we do to take that information and apply it into our product development pipeline? And then beyond that, we're looking outside of the industry. We're looking to food technology companies. What are they doing to innovate? We're also looking at drug delivery systems, and some of those come from pharma, some of them come from dietary supplements, but trying to understand what's already been developed that can be applied to cannabis. How can we use that to innovate products within our industry? So it's taking all of those things together and putting them together and finding out how they cooperate and work together.
All right. So you had all that inspiration and you created kind of a new product. I think it's been around for a little while. One that we just did a product review on, which is another podcast. And I do that YouTuber thing where, click up here, but we're not doing the YouTube thing. So just get on 3wells.co and you'll see a product review, full product review of these three, which are hold it. Look at that. I even beat the green screen. I always lose to the green screen. Today I'm beating the green screen because I figured out if it's over here, see, I'm ugly. I'm not stupid. Anyways, let's talk about Wana quick gummies. These are fast acting gummies. I've done my homework. I'm going to put out some things here that claims that you guys are making, but I want to start after I do this because I want to give some context to the people watching. But what I want to do is I want to start pulling this apart because, we've reviewed the product, and I'll steal my own thunder here in case you haven't seen the product review. And that is you stand up to the claims, but I want to get into the product a little deeper than, just me and the team using and taking and experiencing it. So quick gummies, the reason they're called quick is you feel the effects in 5 to 15 minutes. The effects last for 2 to 4 hours. They come in 7 different flavors. We don't have to get into all the flavors. We did peach Bellini, strawberry margarita, and we also did the pina colada in our test. And we'll put my editor, Mark, will put the pictures of all the products in case people are curious to see the packaging. And they're in sativa, indica, and a hybrid. And they also have THC. One of them, the strawberry margarita, has 5 milligrams of THC and 5 milligrams of CBD. The other two have 5 milligrams of THC. So quick gummies, the onset is 5 to 15 minutes. Candidly, I thought, okay. I didn't know it was you. But okay, Mike's crazy. There's no way it's actually going to, because it always takes like 45 to an hour plus of an edible to feel the onset. So I didn't believe you at first, you being Wana, not you personally, Mike, because we hadn't talked about the 5 to 15. So how does it do that? Like, what did you do to this product to make that happen?
Really good question. And we're going to get into it a little bit more, but just calling them quick, there's only so much you can fit on a label, but it's a lot more than quick. It's fast acting, it's bioavailable, and it's also delivering Delta-9 THC. So we'll touch on all of that. But how do we do it? We spent actually a number of years looking into different technology companies, drug delivery systems, most of them are called. And the first ones we started coming across were nanoemulsions. And there's a wide range of quality of nanoemulsions, and there's lots of companies out there doing it. But nanoemulsions aren't entirely stable. They don't stay together in their chemistry forever. It's kind of like a friendly relationship between the cannabinoids and the emulsifiers to make them water soluble. We're using a different kind of technology. It's an encapsulation. And some people will call emulsions encapsulation because it goes around the cannabinoid. But this, instead of just sort of being associated because of their chemical attractions, This is a bonded molecule. It's a rigid molecule that protects the cannabinoid. And what it's doing is it's on the outside looks to our bodies as water soluble. The chemistry is water soluble. And on the inside, the chemistry is fat soluble. And cannabinoids are fats, they're oils. We've all seen cannabis oil. So these rigid structures are shaped like cups, and they allow the oils to go inside while the outside stays water soluble. So when you consume the gummies, our body's not trying to break down the fats. It's able to look at the chemistry of it and say it's water soluble. It can move and diffuse in our body much more easily. Now, the other really cool thing about our technology versus other nanoemulsions is the size of the chemistry we're talking about. So a lot of nanoemulsions, less than 1,000 nanometers. So most of these emulsions are 200, 500 nanometers in size. The best ones sometimes getting less than 100 nanometers. But the chemistry of the technology we're working with is 15 angstroms, 15 angstroms, which equals 1.5 nanometers. So when we're talking about size, this is incredibly tiny. Now, why does that matter? Not only is it a water-soluble, tiny little vessel carrying cannabinoids, but it's so small that it can slide between the spaces in our cells. It actually can move between them, diffusing more readily than emulsions in most other drug delivery systems. So when it's in our body, it's able to diffuse through the intestinal layers into the bloodstream there. Now, that's really important because I'm not sure if all of the listeners here know, but when you normally absorb cannabinoids, it goes through the gut cell walls and into the liver, where the liver is going to use a family of enzymes, the cytochrome P450 enzymes, and it's going to metabolize them, meaning it changes the chemistry of THC. So it goes from what chemists call delta 9 THC to 11-hydroxy THC. So you eat a classic edible. We've all had the experience. It takes forever to come on. It's taking a while to diffuse through those cells. It ends up in the liver, and our bodies are working on it. And then it changes it before it delivers it to the bloodstream and the brain. So that takes, the 45, 50, 60 minutes. But that new compound that our bodies made, 11-hydroxy, is more potent than delta 9 THC. It gives that very heavy body high, relaxing, sedating, great for hanging out, watching a movie, evenings at home. You know what I mean? Like that kind of experience. This quick product, because it's in these little tiny vessels that are able to diffuse past the cells, can go right into the bloodstream. It doesn't have to stop in the liver where it's metabolized. And that encapsulation protects it from being recognized. And so then it's right into the bloodstream where it can be delivered to the brain as delta 9, the same compound that you would get when you're smoking or inhaling cannabis. So this gives a faster acting, the lighter, more cerebral, less body, less sedating. So you're a little bit more active with it, as I'm sure you and the team experienced when you reviewed it. So it's great for going out with friends, being out and about on the town, shorter experiences in general. So we not only provided a fast acting gummy, but we provided one that offers a different experience from a classic edible. And I think that's what's most important about this product is finding in cannabis for the right time, the right experience, what you're looking for to get out of that. And that's where Wana really shines.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, Mike, for a second, because I'm a guy who, and I think, a lot of our listeners, a lot of the people that go to threewells.co are looking for things that are good for their bodies. And I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not going there. But I'm going to put you on the spot in that. So when I hear, hey, this is moving through a system that usually catches the cannabinoids, and we're bypassing that and going somewhere else. And if I'm the kind of person who only likes to put natural things, or as best I can, I'm not a purist. I still have my potato chips and other things I shouldn't be eating. But in general, I like to put things in my body that are good for it. So should I be concerned that, hey, this is bypassing one of the filters in my body and going someplace it doesn't usually go? Is there any concern in that?
So the technology we're using actually came from the food industry. This is a food product. You've already eaten this before. This is in restaurants right now. So it's you can think of the structure of it. It's a type of starch. It's basically like sugar molecules, in a little more complex than your table sugar. But these are starches. They're sugars. So they break down naturally in our body. You're not leaving chemicals or something unnatural in our body. They last just long enough to get into our body and deliver cannabinoids. And the filter is a good word for the liver, because what the liver was actually trying to do was eliminate THC from your body. It actually had a happy accident where by trying to eliminate, it made 11-hydroxy. So normally our body is actually trying to get rid of the cannabis in our body. So it's trying to filter out. It's not actually trying to let this into our body. It's trying to remove it. So by bypassing it, we're helping deliver the cannabinoid medicine to our bodies. So in a lot of ways, it's very helpful for this.
So I got all that. The thing that you said that I want to highlight and make sure I heard it right was what's in these is not some 2-foot long chemical name, because it's all kinds of man-made whatevers. It's a starch and a sugar that you've just done on a micro level that helps to get it into the system. So it's not some artificial bad for you stuff. Right,
exactly. Yes, no, it's already used in drug delivery systems, and it's already used in food products. This isn't something novel, new to humans. It's been around for decades.
Okay. So now I can teach the pharmacy certification class?
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you wouldn't want that, trust me. Okay, so we use, I want to talk about where, when, how, what to, staying on the topic of quick gummies. We tried them, when we tested them for our product review, we tried them just sort of hanging out and with friends, and obviously not operating machinery or driving a car, but just at home and wherever. And we also tried them just before bed, to kind of chill and relax and get a good night's sleep. So that's how we use them, and it worked. So great. But when would you recommend having these gummies? How should people use them, take them, and what should they expect from them?
That's a great question. One of the first taglines we gave these products after we'd been doing some research with them, trying them ourselves, is a colleague here called them. He's like, "These are like the happy hour gummies." And they were completely right. These are the happy hour gummies. You get off work, and instead of having a couple of drinks with friends and then going home, getting back to normal life, seeing kids, making dinner, etc., you can have a couple of gummies, except you're not high the rest of the night. You're going to be fine in a couple hours, ready to head back home, go about your day again. So it's that 2 to 4 hour experience. It's really nice. It's the lighter high where you're not getting sedated or feeling like, gosh, I need to just go find a couch in my bed or just, lie down. I'm here in Colorado. I love to go to Red Rocks. And
what's Red Rocks?
What's that?
What's Red Rocks?
Jason, Red Rocks is the best music venue in the world. It's here in Colorado. It's the natural rock.
I thought it was a place. Okay.
It is. It's a place to see live music.
Shame on me.
You're going to have to come out. We'll go see a concert. So concerts, I love to use them at concerts. They're great for that. Concerts don't last forever. And I would never want to have a classic gummy at a concert. They're just too sedating, too relaxing. I want to have more energy. And with this fast acting, it's more of like passing a joint around at the concert. So it's a lot of fun. You keep dancing and everything. So hanging out with friends, being out on the town, going to concerts, that's really the time that you use quick. Where in contrast with the classic, it's Sunday night, throw on a favorite movie, get underneath the blanket, eat some popcorn. That's a great time too, but just a different experience.
So there's 5 milligrams of THC in all of these, all the different varieties. One has an initial 5 milligrams of CBD. So how much should someone take for what effect?
It's very important to note that everyone's individual endocannabinoid system is different. So that's not a one size fits all answer. For experienced consumers that have tried classic edibles, starting with one quick gummy is a good place to start. And you can always titrate, meaning adding to your dose over time with a quick. And the nice thing is that it's so fast acting, you could take one, 20 minutes later, say, you know what, I think I can do another, instead of having to wait an hour with a classic edible. If you're new to edibles, or especially if you're new to cannabis, start with a half a gummy. And you can even go as low as like a quarter gummy or less. But starting with a low dose to find out how it's going to affect you is really important when you're a new consumer. You know, diving in saying, I really want to feel this, taking a whole bunch, you might feel uncomfortably high. You might, and we don't want anyone experiencing that. You can always eat more. So start low, and it's the classic start low, go slow for everyone who's heard that.
So I'm going to hold up a gummy here since I have them, just so everyone knows. Oh, green screen beat me. Okay, there you go. That's how big it is. So yeah, it's not like it'd be hard to cut that in half or a quarter and take that. And what you just said, Mike, I think is so important. I have experienced firsthand, true story. I had some friends over, and we had some edibles, and I said, all you're allowed, because they didn't have a lot of experience with edibles. I said, all you're allowed to take is what would be the equivalent of 5 milligrams of THC. That's all you can have, because I knew they were going to be here for for 4 or 5 hours. And they said, great. And I gave them the edible, and I put the edible down on the table, and I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and it was gone. And I said, what happened? And they said, well, we weren't feeling, they said, we weren't feeling anything. I said, it's been 15 minutes, right? And this wasn't the quick gummy. It was something else, or else they would have been feeling it. And I said, well, how much did you eat? And I tallied it up, and each one of them had 25 milligrams. And they were new. And what could have been a great fun night just turned into a train wreck. They I had to take them home because they were just so lethargic and so stoned that they weren't having a good time anymore. And they woke up the next day, and they felt okay. It's not like they drank too much like with alcohol where you have a bad hangover, but they still felt a little groggy, and they were put off by the whole thing. And it's completely because they went overboard. So what could have been a good night and what could have been a good experience was turned into bleh, simply because they took too much. Now, you're not going to overdose, right? And there's not that worry with cannabis, but you can take too much. So wise words is where I'm going. It's a long story to be able to say, Mike, wise words, and just take it easy the first couple of times. This isn't a race. It's wellness, and it's happiness, and it's a good time.
You can always try again the next day. So take it easy your first time. And you're also hitting on something that the quick gummies are great for, is canna curious, new cannabis consumers. By reducing that time you have to wait to feel it, it makes it a lot easier for somebody new to say, oh, I see what this is. You're not reaching for another gummy anytime soon. And it's lighter, it's less lethargic. You're less likely to overdo it in that sense. And it won't last as long if you do eat too much.
So one of the other things is, actually it's a question. I noticed that it says one, no high fructose corn syrup, and two, there's no gelatin. Is that in one of the products? Is that true across all 7 quick gummies? Is they're all vegan?
It's true across all Wana gummies.
Oh.
Yeah, we're really excited to have moved away from high fructose corn syrup. We're using all natural organic tapioca syrup instead. And the product, now it can't be certified organic because this is a marijuana product, and that's not certifiably organic currently yet. We'll get there. But the recipe itself, the ingredients are all being sourced organically. So it's an organic, all natural vegan gummy. And vegan because we're using pectin. Pectin is coming from fruits like apples, whereas gelatin's coming from animal bones and cartilage and stuff like that, kind of nasty stuff. So we really like pectin. We like our products to be vegan. And it also was really important for us in developing here in hot Colorado summers. It was 100 degrees yesterday. Well, gelatin starts to melt at around 90, 92 degrees Fahrenheit, but pectin's not going to melt above 175. And fortunately, it's not that hot anywhere these days.
We seem to be heading that direction.
Yet, knock on wood.
So now that I didn't know. Actually, most of what you said I didn't know until you said it. So this is called like it is. So I'm glad we had this conversation. I feel a little smarter. But in our product test, we abused your gummies. Sorry. And we did put, I'll hold it up in a second. We have a black car with black interior. We live in Northern California, and it was 90 degrees outside that day. And in the morning, before I knew how hot it was going to get, I put them on the dashboard of the car and closed the car and said, okay, tough guy, Mike, let's see if these are really going to hold up. And there you go.
Look at that.
So, I'll take one out.
Jason, I've done much worse. I've tortured our gummies. I've absolutely tortured them. I've stuck them in ovens for hours. We've really beaten them up.
Now you're just trying to show me up. Here I thought it was being I'll show you test, but no, okay, you really torture tested.
We do, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, you're not full of BS. They don't melt is the ultimate outcome. And they tasted the same. Like they didn't start tasting funny because they'd been in the heat. So
right.
Why you would leave your gummies on the dashboard of a car, I don't know. But hey, stuff happens. So
it happens. We've all been there.
They'll hold up. So, and I didn't know it was the gelatin that melts, and because you use pectin, it doesn't melt. So now I've been educated. What else should we know? Because we did our homework. I read the packaging. We did our product review. But what haven't we covered that someone should know about these quick gummies?
The other thing I think we should touch on is the new products we just launched in the line. They are the same formulation. They're in 3 new delicious flavors. But the advantage here is that they come in a higher dose per piece. So we introduced this product in the very low, the nice 5 milligram dosage, which is great for most people. But some people have higher tolerances. It's both their endocannabinoid system might be a little different, or they are more frequent users. So having the higher dose product allows consumers to eat fewer gummies, take in less sugar to hit their optimal dose. So we have those now available in a hybrid appletini flavor, an indica island punch, and a sativa. It's reminiscent of a tequila sunrise flavor. So again, sticking with the happy hour theme on the flavors, but brand
really are sticking with the happy hour theme on that one. They all sound good.
They're unique. No one's had gummies that taste like that, and they're really good. We did a lot of product development around the flavors, and are really happy with the outcome.
All right, man. You can never laugh at me again if I call you Willy Wonka, because you really are. So you said those 3 new flavors. I didn't know about those. So I do know you have 7. Is that part of the 7, or is this in addition to the 7?
That's part of the 7. Yep. So we have 4 right now that are 5 milligrams, and these are the 3 new 10 milligram ones. Yep. Okay.
So I'm in California, and I went looking for all 7 for a product test, but I only found 3. So I'm assuming that the 3 I found, meaning the peach Bellini, the strawberry margarita, and the pina colada, those are the 3 in California. I'm assuming you can get all 7 in Colorado.
Colorado, home base, hometown, we are able to offer our full product line. Now, the rest of the line is coming to all markets and states. It just takes a while to roll them out. We need to work with our production facilities, make sure they're ready to handle the new product launches. These new SKUs just launched last month. So give us a little bit of time. They're coming soon.
Okay. All right. So here we have you, the master innovator at Wana. So I got to ask, I'm coming off the quick gummies now. I got to ask, what are you up to? What are you doing? What can you share?
What's up these sleeves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't give away everything. So we'll talk in concepts and ideas and what you can expect coming from Wana soon. That sound good?
Okay.
we've been formulating products with cannabinoid ratios, CBD, THC, 1-to-1, 2-to-1s, 5-to-1s. I know you've covered education on those in the past over at 3 Wells. And people use them for different use cases. Sometimes they're great for relaxing. Some are great for sleep. Others people use to help them be less anxious. What we're trying to do is evolve that further. We're trying to look at the cannabis plant and all the compounds found in it and the different extractions we can do on it that help deliver on those experiences people are looking for. What uses people are using cannabis for, and develop formulations that deliver on that. So you're not guessing what this product's going to do. You're able to walk into a dispensary, find a Wana product, and say, you know what, cannabis really helps me for anxiety. Is there anything that you could recommend? And Wana's going to have a formulation specifically for that. Someone might say, cannabis is great for sleep. I'm looking for a product for that. Wana's going to have a formulation. So we're looking at those use case specific formulations and evolving products to deliver on the promise of cannabis for different uses. So that'll be coming shortly. We've got products in development. We're really excited to be getting those out here soon.
I'm intrigued.
Yep, it's going to be utilizing the full potential of the plant, from terpenes to minor cannabinoids to THC and CBD, putting them all together into a highly effective package.
Hey, you just mentioned terpenes, and I just realized I got to go back again. Sorry, I know I'm jumping on a conversation. Smooth I ain't. But what I did read on these is there are 30 terpenes in each one. Is that right?
Right.
So what does that mean for a layperson?
So terpenes are the compounds that give cannabis its scent, aroma, but it's also thought to be part of the entourage effect, meaning that they synergistically work with cannabinoids to improve the efficaciousness of cannabis. So they make it more effective. Now, when you extract cannabis, particularly into cannabis distillate, most of the terpenes are lost, meaning you're losing some of the effective potential of cannabis. And we wanted to maintain that when we started using distillate. So we actually went to dispensaries and purchased sativa strains of cannabis and indicas and hybrids. We put them into this highly specialized analytical piece of equipment called a 3D GCMS. And that basically, it's a Wonka facility thing. And what it did is allowed us to see what terpenes are found in these different strains. And we worked with our industry leading terpene provider, and they've actually replicated these blends. And we're not just putting 5 or 10 terpenes like you'll see in some products, like they'll say, here's the 5 terpenes we use. We actually looked at not only what terpenes, but in what ratios and concentrations are found in the plant, and mimicked and replicated that in the blend to reintroduce to our gummies. We put them in at the end of the cooking process, so we're not burning them off in our cooking. And it's if you have a sativa plant, these are the same terpenes and same ratios and concentrations as that plant. So that's how we're able to reintroduce them to our gummies and offer these class-specific ratios. So sativa, indica, hybrid. In the future, we're going to be taking that a step further. We've been working with companies that are looking at customer feedback on what strains help them for specific use cases. So someone might say, this strain really helps me for sleep or anxiety, et cetera. And we're working with companies taking AI algorithms to combine all of that information and figure out what terpenes are best for sleep and which ones are best for, you name it. We're looking at those to create new formulations that are more effective. We're trying to dial in and go beyond indica sativa hybrid. I think the next evolution of cannabis is not sativa, but this one's energizing, this one's focusing, not indica, but this one's relaxing and this one's sedative. Getting into the detail and the nuances of how these combine together and create different effects.
Oh man, one, that sounds interesting. 2, you were really geeking out. Wow.
You have a little earthquake there?
I almost got hit by my studio.
Glad you're okay.
Yeah, me too. That was close. It was a piece of studio equipment almost hit me. I wouldn't have known. I'm numb from the shoulders up. So one of the things that you just said a second ago, you didn't say in depth, but there are different ways to get terpenes, cannabinoids, THC, CBD, etc., into a gummy. How are you guys getting it in there?
So at Wana, we're in the classic gummies, we're utilizing cannabis distillates with reintroduced terpenes. But we like to introduce it at the end of the cooking process, so we're not heating, degrading the compounds. And then we homogenize the gummies for several minutes. So that means mixing them up so that the products are completely uniform. It means that when you cut it in half, it's not like 80% of the cannabis is in one side and 20 is in the other side. So very homogeneous products. So both the terpenes and cannabinoids can be distributed evenly, and then they're weighed out and measured very accurately. So both dosing and homogeneity is very trustworthy in the products.
So you don't spray it on, because I've heard some manufacturers they create a gummy and then it's almost like just a spray nozzle goes. And wow, my green screen is freaking out because I almost got hit. But you are not doing that, right?
No, that's the easy way to do it, but it's not the right way to do it. So that's not the Wana way. It'd be really easy to just make gummies and spray them. But instead we take the longer route of infusing the product. And that's really the right way to do things. It makes them taste better, makes them work better, and it makes them more trustworthy in the experience. When they're sprayed on, one half is going to be more coated than another. You don't know which half that is. It might not be even. A lot of issues come up. Plus, you can taste a lot more of the cannabis flavor coming through in not a pleasant way.
That explains a lot, because a friend of mine doesn't have a high tolerance. So he wanted to get some sleep and he cut a gummy in half. And one night he took one half, didn't do anything. The next night he took the other half and he was hit with this, right? He thought he was getting 2.5 milligrams. He got I can't prove this, but he got all 5 milligrams at once on that other half. So to your point, it's good to know it's evenly distributed in case you do want to cut it. And it's even good to know because I'm guessing, you tell me, but if you create a sheet of gummies or a slab or whatever you call it, and you spray it and it's not done evenly, even from full gummy to gummy could be a different distribution, yeah?
Absolutely. You really don't know what you're going to get.
That's not good.
No.
All right. Okay, so yours are infused, not sprayed or whatever they do. Got it.
Nothing really.
But we've talked about a lot, and you've educated me, and I'm sure you've educated everyone that's listening to this. How does someone reach you or Wana? And the second part of that is, how do they get a hold of these quick gummies?
Come see us at wanabrands.com. You can use our product finder there. You can just type in your zip code and we'll help you find a store that carries Wana near you. Also, while you're on the website, make sure to go to our Learn page. We have interactive trainings for customers out there that we talk about things like Cannabis 101, like what are the basics? We have what are terpenes? We talk about the endocannabinoid system, which is really interesting. And then we also have trainings that review not just the Wana Quick products, but our classics and other product lines that we make. So if you're interested in learning more, find out at wanabrands.com. You can also reach out and contact us through the website. We've got a chat function. We'd love to talk to you. Great.
Well, Mike, aka Mr. Wonka, you've been great. Thanks for your time and educating us all. And everyone who is watching this, don't forget to go to 3wells.co. Be well, live well, do well. This podcast will be posted there. You can also get it on YouTube, along with all of our other podcasts, both video and audio only. So with that, Mike, again, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And go have a great rest of your day.
Thanks so much. A lot of fun talking to you. Take care.
Bye.